afternoon, bros. My name is Aqua Kamau. At least that's the name I use on Facebook. And today we'll be looking at a side of brewing that is, I would honestly say is more targeted towards the more advanced or most advanced brewers. We're looking at aging and using a gas called Argon. It has been a while since I've done a video regarding winemaking. Many persons here may not know me, and that's fine. Let me start by saying I do not profess to know everything about brewing. I've been doing it for a number of years, and like everybody else, I'm learning too, but I may have a little more experience in some areas than some of the other brewers. I don't know. If you feel that this is below you, then fine. For persons who wish to learn about Argon, please watch to the end, alright? Well, Argon, A-R-G-O-N. The literature advises that it is the third most abundant gas in our atmosphere. It is an inert gas. It does not respond to anything, whether pressure or high temperature, low temperature. It is just there and occupies space, alright? Pretty quickly, the advanced brewers will probably begin to realize how useful this can be for aging as it relates to head space. Alright, I'm going to show you what the cylinder, I have a cylinder here with me. This is my Argon cylinder and the regulator, the nozzle. Alright, how it works is that Argon, by virtue of one very important characteristic, it is very heavy. It is heavier than normal ambient air, and it is heavier than carbon dioxide. So if it is pumped into a container, it goes right to the bottom. So if you're aging in a barrel or in a carboy and your head space is too large, just pump some Argon. It goes and it sits right on top of whatever brew it is, wine, mead, doesn't matter, cider. It sits right on top of it. So oxygen in the atmosphere cannot get to your brew and oxygenate it or cause it to spoil, alright? Some people use carbon dioxide for this, and while there's nothing really wrong with that, my personal view is that carbon dioxide is it is better for carbonating beverages, because at certain temperatures it can in fact dissolve into your brew, and that is where the carbonation takes place. All right, it is said it can also cause off flavors too, hence the push by some brewers to degas. Argon doesn't do any of that. It is inert. It does not respond to anything. It does not react to anything, whether high pressure, high temperature, low temperature, nothing affects it. It is just there. All right. Then let me show you how it is used. I'm going to be doing a demonstration using a 5-gallon one of my 5-gallon carboys. Of course, you're going to sterilize. You're going to sanitize your Argon hose as well, because it too goes down in the cylinder. You put your Argon inside here, and you turn this to decide how much you want to be flowing out. It is not connected up right now, so you won't be able to see. It does not represent the actual temperature, the actual pressure within the thing there. It is 60 gallons in this. I'm not sure how much that works out in terms of PSIs, but normally it's about a pound. It allows you to, the regulator allows you to regulate how much gas is actually leaving the cylinder. So the first dial, the dial here shows you the pressure, how much gas is in the cylinder in terms of pressure. And this here, there's a silver ball in here that rises in front of a calibrated scale, and it tells you how much gas is actually leaving and going through the hose. Alright? Next, you will have your give me a minute there. Next you will have your, let us say you're using an auto siphon to siphon off your brew. You will have your auto siphon hose, and of course this will be sanitized as well. All of these will be sanitized, including the container. You would have your hose going down, or if it's a pump, it doesn't matter. You would sanitize the pump hose just the same. and start your auto siphon. And while the brew is going in the container, let me down a bit so you can see it a little better. While the brew is going down in the container, the gas is also going inside here. And like I said, it settles at the bottom of wherever it is. It is the heaviest. It is heavier than normal atmospheric air, and heavier than also than carbon dioxide. So by the time it gets to, even if you only have let us say half of this in terms of the amount of available brew that you're aging, the top of it would have been filled with argon. It would push out whatever air or carbon dioxide is there, you know. And so your brew would be, on top of your brew would be the argon. And like I said, it is inert. It does not react to anything. All right. Next, you could use either of these two things. You could either have your airlock, and by the way, this is my preferred airlock, the 3-piece. You could either have your airlock and put that in, and you're good to go. Just put this in a dark, cool place. Your wine is halfway, but the other half of your cylinder, the other half of your container or your carboy is filled with argon. So oxygen is not going to get to it. All right. And the thing to be aware of is that each time you pull without argon, each time you pull your cylinder, your to do whatever, to rack it or whatever, air gets in there and interacts with it. So when you pump it back into your destination carboy, you do what I just showed you a while ago with the argon, and everything is good. You can either use this regular, this is I think a size 10.5 drilled stopper, or you can use one of these. Now this has two spouts, two nozzles. It fits over it, and your carboy your airlock goes inside here, and this other one, which is also hollow, you put the cap on it. Now the argon wouldn't normally just dissipate out of it, but it happens over time, a very long time. I think they said after a year, like about 10 or 20% of this would have dissipated. But in any case, the remaining argon would still be on top of the wine, sitting directly on top of the wine. The empty space, if I can call it that, would be at the top here. All right, and the argon would be on your wine here. All right. I think that's about it. It's a very short video. It has been a while since I have done a video, and I'm hoping that you will find this, that at least one person would find this interesting, would find this useful. In Jamaica, argon is very cheap. The regulator was bought off of Amazon. Most of my things come from Amazon, you know. If you can find a cheaper outlet, then fine, you know. But I tend to rely on on Amazon for most of my supplies. All right. So we looked at the argon, the carbo. By the way, I can show you some of the things that I age in, some of the containers that I age in. This is an 8-gallon container. Yeah, a special kind of plastic that allows for aging alcoholic beverages. All right, this is bought from a company in Jamaica. This is an 8-gallon, and this is the 15-gallon one. This is the largest size that they have. All right, and the good thing is both of these use the same type of corks. I can pull from this one and put on here. Both of them is the same thing. So whatever you buy for one works, and it also works for this as well. Alright, same size 10.5 drill stopper works with this. Same thing. Alright. Okay, so that is all for now, my friends, and you take care. Any questions, feel free to post them, and I will respond to those that I can. And if there are questions that I'm unable to answer, I certainly will try to find the information for you. So that is all for now. Happy brewing. Take care. By the way, enjoy the holidays, but take it easy on the roads. All right. Okay. Cool. By the way, bro, sorry about that. Um, I've been seeing persons in a number of groups. Well, not a number, a few groups. I only belong to a few groups in terms of home winemaking. A few people saying that they do not have a pH meter to test the pH of their musts. You don't necessarily need a pH meter. There is this thing that you can use. You know, pH paper goes from 0 to 14. I think you may be seeing that in reverse now. 0 to 14. And the color code also tells you where you're where in there. The paper starts out like this, with this, and the color changes. The color changes to tell you which range the pH of your brew is in. Alright? I do have a pH meter, but I hardly use it. I mostly stick with the pH paper, the pH test paper. It goes from 0 to 14. pH 0, which is the most acidic, if you can get there, to 14, which is the most which is at the other end of the spectrum. All right. So just wanted to add that here. All right. So once again, have a good one. Take it easy.